Welcome, everyone, to episode 3 of the Hanukkah Erotica Book Club. I'm Raizel, and I'm here with Malya.
Hello.
Hi, Mal.
Hi.
So why are we here? How are we here? A few weeks ago, I started looking for a book on the Libby app. I got served 4 Hanukkah romance books, and I was like, I think I have to write one of these. This is a genre I didn't know about and didn't know I needed. The Hanukkah gift, really, I never knew I needed. But then I pivoted really quickly. Instead of writing one, I decided, let me read them. And I started kind of book clubbing them on Instagram. It spoke to my friends and family, Malya being one of them.
Oh,
and
yes.
here we are today, doing our 3rd episode.
Thrilled to be here.
I'm so excited. Now, Mal, today we're doing something different.
Yes.
Today we're doing a Hanukkah romance movie.
Mm-hmm. My first one.
Your first one. Now, the Christmas movie world is huge. Made-for-TV Christmas movies, there's hundreds every year. 80 million viewers a year, I read. Really big genre. Hanukkah romance just started in 2019. Hallmark, Lifetime, they just started making them in 2019. So 2 came out this year. Menorah in the Middle, starring Jonah Platt and Lucy DeVito. And the second one is Hanukkah on Rye. Tonight, we're talking about Menorah in the Middle. I can't wait to talk about this movie with you.
I'm thrilled. I just watched it. I mean, spoiler, I thought it was genius. And I have a lot to say.
I have a lot to say, too. But I have something really cuckoo bananas to tell you, which is that Jonah Platt posted some behind-the-scenes pictures on Instagram earlier today, and I commented from our Hanukkah Erotica podcast Instagram handle saying, we're podcasting about this tonight. Do you have anything you want to tell your listeners? And he commented back, Malya, that he wanted to tell us it was a labor of love and that cold latkes are gross.
Oh my God.
So I reposted, I screenshotted that and I posted it to my stories. And then he DM'd me and said, haha, you should invite me next time. And I said, we're recording tonight. Do you want to pop in? And he said he could pop in for 5 minutes. So Malya, he is in the waiting room. He's in the waiting room right now.
What?
Yeah.
I'm dying.
Yeah, Jonah Platt's in the waiting room right now. I think we should let him in. I have a bunch of questions for him.
Okay.
Jonah!
Hello.
Jonah!
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
Hanukkah, ladies. Nice to meet you.
I'm Raizel. Hi.
Hello.
This
Malya.
is Malya.
Hi.
I'm Malya.
We're so happy you're here.
Happy to be here. What a luck of the draw. It's worked out great.
It really, you're a mensch of all mensches to come onto our podcast like this.
No worries.
Really?
So Jonah, we have a bunch of questions for you.
Okay.
So we're new podcasters, and we're podcasting Hanukkah romance books, the
Pretty
occasional
niche.
pretty niche, and the occasional Hanukkah romance movie, which this is a growing market, as you know.
I'm glad to hear that.
As you know, it's getting bigger and bigger every year. Started in 2019. I did a little research.
Okay.
So I have a couple questions. I have a couple questions about making this movie, and I also have just some questions about your upbringing in general.
Sure.
Did you grow up calling it Hanukkah or Hanukkah?
What a question. Let's see. Happy I think Hanukkah. Really?
With
Without
a little-
the th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Happy Hanukkah. Yeah, because Happy Hanukkah like sort of goes to Happy Hanukkah. Yeah. Straight H.
Straight H, Happy Hanukkah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I have a question. When you're filming a movie like this, I know it doesn't have a huge budget. Sounds like it was written in just a couple days.
Literally, yes.
So
Wow.
when you're in, like, what is the vibe on set? Like, do you know that this is like very silly? Like, while it's going on, are you all taking it very seriously? Like, what is the vibe when you're making this kind of a made-for-TV Hanukkah romance?
So, of course, like we're all professionals, so like definitely take it seriously. We're there to do work, but we also know, we're not doing Shakespeare, right? So there's a certain amount of levity. There's a certain amount of understanding that, we're operating on a tiny budget, doing a silly Hanukkah holiday movie, making silly Jewish jokes and stuff. So it was generally like a very like good morale set, good vibes, like pretty loose and friendly, because it wasn't rocket science. We're not trying to win an Oscar, but we had a job to do, and like we had very limited time and resources to get it done. So we had to, focus, but always with a really nice familial light atmosphere. It never got tense or
You guys,
overwrought.
you hit it out of the park. It was
Oh,
really
thank
fun
you.
and
It
really
was
good.
great.
Oh, thank you both. Thank you. I'm glad to hear that.
It was really good. So okay, speaking of the budget, first of all, another question: do you call it rugelach? What about Malya? I have this question for both of you, or rugula? Because
I say more. Give me the rugula.
Yeah.
Rugula. I don't know. It's honestly, it's not something I say that much. Let's see.
Doesn't roll off the tongue.
My great aunt used to like have it a lot, and I would say like rugula.
Rugelach.
Yeah,
Rugelach.
rugula. Not rugula. Probably more rugula.
Right. Me too.
Right.
Malya.
Rugula. I don't know about the ch at the end. I feel like it's
Rugula.
rugula. I don't know.
Okay, I'm a at the end. I don't know if that's wrong
Yeah,
or
I'm
right.
a rugalach with a
Yeah.
ch.
All right, there you go.
But in the movie, some people called it rugula, like arugula, like the lettuce.
Right,
like,
right.
What is this? Is this like? Well, I wasn't sure about that.
That's a good call. I don't know. Somebody probably had that somewhere, and that was their version of saying it, and that's what they
Probably.
used.
Okay, so that was my first question about that, because my second question was, did you have to eat that? That did not look like the most delicious.
Yeah, we had everything we were eating. We were eating. As I mentioned on my Instagram, the latkes were quite cold by the time they made it in front of camera. That was not, and they were so thick.
And they were flecked with something. What was in them?
In the
They were
latkes?
flecked. They're like, there was, Molly, did you see the flecks?
They did look like sort of like balayaged or something.
I don't remember. If it was anything, it was, like herbs or something. There was nothing like weird or funky in there. They were just like so thick and so cold by the time we had to eat them. So like a cold thick latke and applesauce, and it was not appetizing.
No.
We had to pretend to be loving them.
Yeah, like the best. Like,
and the baked goods, again, so this was very small budget. It's like the baked goods, I don't know, if they were bought on Thursday, we were shooting with them till Saturday,
Right. Yes, that would be a very small minor change. So again, there was a budget. And I understand, but I was like, the rugelach supposed to save everything. This motivated Sarah Silverman and her sister.
Right, it was pivotal, yes.
It was pivotal.
Right.
But like, it seemed like almost like store-bought, like not like bakery at like a kosher bakery, like in Brooklyn. Like it seemed like ShopRite.
That's right. There's no ShopRite in like East LA where we shot this, but like you're on the money. It was definitely like a supermarket store-bought kind of.
Totally.
What's the cheapest baked goods we can get in the area?
Totally. Yeah, no, I thought that was very funny. What's your favorite Hanukkah song?
Well, so here it's like part answer and actual a plug also. I actually just put on my YouTube, and it's also on my Instagram, I did a version of a song. It's a prayer called Al HaNisim, because I was invited to sing last week at a holiday fundraiser, and I was like, okay, it's a holiday fundraiser, not Christmas, so I'm gonna bring some Hanukkah to the proceedings. But the Hanukkah songs are not great. It's like we're getting killed in the like holiday music game. And so I scoured the internet. I was like, Al HaNisim, I remember really liking that prayer. And like, I remembered a beautiful melody from when I was a kid, and I couldn't find it. But what I did find was I found this Orthodox Israeli musician, a guy named Ephraim Markowitz, on YouTube doing a beautiful melody to Al HaNisim. So I took his melody and, I sort of Jonah it up a little bit. But I performed that, and it's now my favorite Hanukkah song. And if you want to hear it, you can check it out on my YouTube or my Instagram.
Okay, great. That was an amazing answer to that question.
Yeah.
Wow.
Perfect.
Do you feel like there's room in the market? I know you're like, a little bit of a musical theater person. Like, is there room in the market for a Hanukkah musical?
It's tricky because you'd have to find the angle. Like things around Hanukkah tend to be very kitschy, So like another reason, like I found this other melody. It was like not a kitschy melody at all. So like I think it would depend on what your story was and like what your way in is. Like if it's going to be about latkes and dreidels and stuff, like it's going to be too kitschy to be a good musical. But if you can find something, grounded and meaningful and like really moving, then sure, why not?
I think the tricky thing is like, this isn't our biggest holiday, right? It just isn't. So, but there's pressure to have content around it because of Christmas.
Totally. That's exactly right.
And so yeah, I don't know if there's room for a Hanukkah musical, except that the thing is, there's viewers, like there's people who are craving it.
You know, I was in a Hanukkah musical in 4th grade called The Odd Potato, which was actually, I remember it being very good. There was a beautiful song in it called My Mother's Menorah. That was the really pretty song. I don't think I even sang it, but like that was like the song that has stayed with me since I was 9. This pretty song about the meaning of, for this young person, about having her mother's old menorah. That was really pretty. But I don't remember what the stories are. I remember it was about a brother and a sister. I played the brother, and my cousin played my sister.
Was that like a Hebrew school? What kind of?
So I went to a Jewish day school. So the play was in English, and we got to like leave class to work on it, which was like doubly awesome. And we performed it for the whole school. It was like the only time they ever did that in all my years there, and ever since, that we did like an original Hanukkah English musical. I don't know why they did it or how it came to exist or whatever happened to The Odd Potato, but it was like a great little kids musical. That was
Do you
really.
think you have it on VHS?
Maybe. I've never even thought to look.
Check it out. Let us
Yeah.
That could be a good
That would be a
deep
good
track. It's a good deep
Yeah.
track to dig out for
a
sure.
deep cut. I'll have to go spelunking in my parents' closet when I get back to LA.
Yeah, check it out. I was going to ask you, like, what your Hanukkah traditions are now.
So we started one recently. My wife actually converted to Judaism before we got married, and she was raised Catholic. So for her, this time of year is like the most special time, and she loves decorating. So my house is so like winter Hanukkah decked out. She's found, you know, the Hanukkah decorations out there are not great. But she has found a way to make it very beautiful and classy. I call her Martha Jewart. And so now we have my family over to our house for first night of Hanukkah for the last couple years. And that's our new tradition. My wife makes a beautiful table, and I cook the latkes, and she handles everything else. I do the latkes and the wine. That's my domain. And she does everything else. And it's like a beautiful new tradition that we never had any real tradition growing up around Hanukkah, other than just, you know, lighting the candles and doing the thing.
That sounds so nice.
Sweet.
So since Molly and I started this Hanukkah erotica book club,
Yeah.
everything in my life has been like, is now through the lens of like, would this be a hot setting for a Hanukkah romance? Like everything. Like on Sunday, we went to a Hanukkah party for the family, for kids at the shul. I'm like waiting online for a bagel. I'm like, just like containers of cream cheese everywhere. I'm like, is this a hot setting for a Hanukkah romance? Like,
Right.
Then that night we went to
a meet cute could happen anyway.
Yeah, like could it happen here over this table of bagels? Then we were like at the lighting in town, like that. I was like, this is very hot. This is a hot setting. Like what is like a sexy Hanukkah setting? Like what? I think that movie was good. I think that the setting was really great. Like you guys were camp friends, like you had, you know, you grew up together, like you go home to the old friend, and she didn't even expect your character to be home, like
Right.
you were a travel photographer.
That's right.
But what are good settings?
Sexy Hanukkah time. What about like at an office Christmas party, and like the two Jews are like connecting like in the back room at the Christmas party?
Similar to a book we
You're
read
speaking
last
our
week.
language, Jonah, because that was
You
our
are.
first episode, had that precise setting. So we're all on the same Hanukkah page here.
There you go.
We are. Yeah, this is so much fun. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome.
One little question I have about
Yeah.
a detail in the movie. Okay, so
Yeah.
there's a shot where they jump to an urn and they
Yes.
imply that it's the grandfather.
hmm
Okay, so wouldn't that be taboo in a Jewish family
But
to
it
have your
gets-
grandfather in an urn?
But Molly,
Totally.
I have to add to this before Jonah. I have to say one more thing. But then later in the movie, you two talk about your second, third kiss, and one of them was at the cemetery at Bubby's funeral. Bubby was buried. Zaidi was cremated.
Whoa.
Why? Tell us.
These are the things that happen when the script is written in 6 days. All I can think to, you know, I'd have to ask Jordan, who wrote and directed the movie in 6 days magnificently. I would guess, you know, I could be totally wrong, but my guess would be was purely like a sight gag. He just like thought it would be funny to have the
Sure.
urn break and like have a moment with the urn. And that's literally the only reason it's there. The other reason it could be there is there was a draft of the script prior to Jordan coming on that Jordan came on and was like, actually, like he's like, I can't direct this movie. It's not Jewish enough. I have to rewrite it. And maybe the urn was a vestige. I don't know. I can ask him.
I'm very curious about that.
So the answer is either it's either a vestige or it was like pure like, oh, this would be funny to do. I'm not going too deep into it. Whatever, here it is.
Sure.
Malya, I can't believe you just asked Jonah that, because I actually commented on his like post today, that specific thing. I'm curious. I was curious about Zadie being cremated but Bubby being buried. So yeah,
that's poor continuity.
By the way, there's also like a different description on the internet. Like
the Hulu description is based off the first draft.
The heart attack. There's no heart attack.
So and like poor Jordan, there's like, we love Hulu for having the movie. There's a couple things that they sort of like inexplicably did that he was like, that's the opposite of what I told him to do. I don't know why Hulu did this. That being one of the things.
That's so funny.
Yeah, because she goes home, the dad has a heart attack. Really, Chad beat him in
totally different description. It describes the first version of the movie that was never shot and like does not exist.
I'm so glad that our eagle eyes are
you don't miss a beat.
I'm really tickled about that. So
it's really a tribute to the movie, because I turned it on thinking like this will be fun to have in the background while I'm like cleaning up. No, was riveted the whole time.
Oh yeah, that's great. So glad to hear that.
I loved it too. I really loved it. Now Chad, do you think that when Jordan wrote Chad, they were like, he was writing like a white bro, but then they decided to cast that guy, but then kept his name as Chad? Because
that would be my guess. When I read Chad, I didn't expect to see Christian, but I thought it was like an inspired casting choice. I thought he was so funny in it and brought like such a different flavor. And I think that Chad is just like such a douchey name that they just like, it was great. Yeah.
They just kept it.
Yeah.
they were like, we don't have time for this. This is written in 6 days. This is who we're casting. I don't have time to change this name.
Yeah. And it's like Chad, it just fit the character, and then Christian just did his own thing with it,
Right. He was funny.
Yeah, he's great.
His chart paper presentations, he's very funny.
It was so funny. He was like just villainous enough, but like still like you kind of still had a soft spot for him at the end, just enough.
Yeah, he kept it grounded enough where it was funny, but not like too jokey and broad. Like you still pretty much bought him as a real human being, but he just pushed the envelope enough. Yeah,
totally. Your character, the Jewish geography shtick, I really appreciated.
Yeah,
that's really good. That was good shtick. You don't see that in movies. Like that was funny.
Calling all the different people, you mean?
Yeah.
That was really fun to shoot. It was one of the first things I shot. Was that because like that bedroom scene was one of the first locations we did. So anything that took place in that bedroom was like on the first day, at least that I was there on maybe day 2. That was the first thing we did. So that was a fun way to just like get into stuff. And it was all like, most of that was improv, like all the different phone calls. We were just, we made like 12 different phone calls, and then Jordan picked the funniest ones and put them in the movie.
They were really fun. Our first book that we read last week was about a Shayna. So then there's like millions of Shaynas in those calls.
Yeah. So I improvised that one. That was, inspired by my real life experiences in day school and at Jewish sleepaway camp.
Totally.
Where it was like 3 Davids and Lauren M and Lauren S and all of that stuff.
Totally.
And I love when there was one where she was like, next time I'm in the market for a carpet, I'll call your cousin. That was really funny. Just like
I think that was a Lucy.
The marketing.
Lucy original.
She was
funny.
Really cute.
She was so cute.
Yeah, she's adorable.
How was Sarah Silverman?
So lovely. Her and Laura both just like so sweet. It was so nice of them to do this movie. They came in, they knew their stuff. They were totally like, chill, Jewish, fun, nice people.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was really, really great. Really fun.
Funny.
The thing about this is like, this is going to be a movie now that people watch every year.
I hope so. That'd be awesome.
It will be. Like, that's what happens with these movies. And the thing is, there aren't hundreds yet, right? There's a handful, and it's good. So people are going to keep watching it.
From your mouth to God's ears.
Totally.
Jonah, thank you so much. Malya, do you have any other questions before we say goodnight to Jonah?
No, we're so thankful for your time. So nice of you. I loved the movie. It'll be a new Hanukkah tradition for us for sure.
That makes me so happy. It's a pleasure to meet you both and to speak with you. And thanks for being fans of the film. And happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah. Wish Ben and Noah Mazel Tov from us.
Oh, I will. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks so much. Happy
Bye-bye.
Hanukkah.
Yeah, you got it.
Thank you. You're
Bye.
the best.
Wow.
Oh my God. I was so starstruck. I was stuttering.
Malya, I can't believe it.
How did that even happen? Rachel, you're a marketing genius.
That was a long time. That wasn't 5 minutes.
We could have kept him on for longer. He was loving it.
I love him.
He's so sweet.
He
Oh
was
my
so
God.
nice.
Can't believe he just did that. I can't believe this is happening. I'm in shock. I'm b'shock.
I'm so happy. Great. That was awesome. I kind of want to keep talking about the movie, but I feel like really, that was it, man. Jonah Platt just came on our podcast.
I can't believe it. I know. Where do we even go from there? I don't even know. I mean, yeah, it was such a cute movie. I was serious. Like, I did put it on thinking like, all right, I'm going to like clean up in my apartment and sort of like half watch it. And I really like didn't get off the couch. It was very adorable.
It really was.
And I'll tell you what, it was like the campiness of it like allowed me to enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like I didn't have to, it allowed me to let my inner snarky person, it satisfied my snarkiness so I could just enjoy.
But that's the thing. Like that's why I wanted to know, like when you're filming something like that, like, do you know? Like,
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, we knew.
But it's still super cute.
It was. It really was. Wow. Episode 3 with a guest star who starred in the movie.
I know.
I don't. Where do we go from here?
I don't know. I mean, this is a hard act to follow.
Wow.
But, you know, I think it just speaks to the way in which this is a needed piece for our times.
It is. We're making history.
Absolutely. Wait,
We are part of Jewish history now.
we really are. We really are. And you know, right, exactly. I mean, Nes Gadol Haya Po.
It is true.
Mm-hmm.
That really was a Hanukkah miracle.
It was.
And it happened
never
here.
would have thought it would
Do you
have
think we
I
thanked
never
him and
would have
do you think we were appreciative enough?
I hope so. I don't know. Well, we can reappreciate when this goes public for sure. Goes public when we release it.
Yeah. When we release it.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
What
What were you gonna say?
No, I one thing that I thought was cute. Maybe I should have brought this up when he was on, but I don't know. It's just occurring to me now. Like, they kind of turned the whole like Jewish plotting stereotype on its head because it was kind of like the goyim plotting for monetary gain, while the Jews were out for like, family and wholesome values. So it was sort of like. I don't know. It made a good political statement to me too, in a sort of sort of subtle way.
A good point.
Should have said that to him. I was so starstruck. Ah.
That was awesome.
So great.
Wow. All in one day, Mal. I just commented on his picture a few hours ago.
Listen,
I'm telling you, a mensch, a
the
real mensch.
entertainment biz, things are fast, as we now know as insiders.
I didn't mention that New Yorker article.
That was good. That was good.
Yeah, it's better. I didn't need to mention that article.
Let's keep it light,
Yeah, keep it light. Yeah.
I didn't read that article, should I?
There's just 1,000 posts about it. I didn't read it either. I just
Okay.
know it's there.
Right. All right.
His brother's on the cover.
Oh.
There's only like 6 people on the cover. Ben's one of them.
I think it's good that we steer clear of that.
Yeah, I think so too. But I mean, it would have been timely. I'm just saying, but no reason.
I don't. Yeah. I feel more comfortable in the.
I had one other question for him. I wanted to know if Menorah in the Middle was a game made up for this movie. I think it was.
Wasn't it basically just like mistletoe, but as a menorah?
Yeah, it was like the menorah's in between the lovers. They look in each other's eyes. When the menorah's removed, they kiss.
Right.
And they
so it's
kissed.
Right. It's like the menorah as mistletoe.
Jewish mistletoe.
Yeah.
Made up for the movie.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
No one's playing menorah in the middle. Although
Well, I think they might now.
Yeah. Well, of
course they
part
will
of Jewish
now.
history, of course. I don't know that it's really anything to be played, though. It's just kind of like an excuse to kiss, kind of like mistletoe.
Of course, though, like, think about middle schoolers or, like, kids in high school at a Hanukkah party trying to figure out a way to, like, do something, kiss for the first time. They're like, let's play Menorah in the middle. Yeah,
Right,
it's
it
like
becomes
whatever.
like Jewish spin the bottle.
Yeah.
Spin the
I think
menorah.
this is. Yeah, I think it's making history. I think it's going to be the cause of the impetus for a lot of first kisses. That's what I think.
Wow. Okay. I guess
I
we'll
could
have to
be
check
wrong.
in. We could check in with our kids in 10 years and see if
In
they're,
10 years, yeah.
see how aware they are.
Exactly.
Yikes.
Big yikes. Wow, Mal.
Thank you, Jonah.
Thank you, Jonah. Thank you, Jonah Platt.
Wow. Huge. Huge day for the pod.
I can't believe it.
So
what huge day for the pod. So where do we go from here? So
Yes.
a couple of things coming up on the docket for Malya and I.
Great.
We're going to, listen, Hanukkah is ending quickly, right?
Mm-hmm.
We put this together pretty fast, and so we're going to talk
In the spirit of Menorah in the middle, great things can happen when you rush
exactly
and just
a Hanukkah
go with
miracle,
it.
a Hanukkah miracle. We're gonna do an episode coming up for you, listeners, where I'm gonna read some book descriptions to you, Malya, and hear what you have to say about them.
Great.
Because there's over 40. We're not gonna get to read them all right now.
It's okay.
And then if we have time, we're gonna do another movie.
Oh.
We're gonna see if we have time.
Okay, great.
And then Molly and I are thinking, listeners, tell us what you think, for the rest of the year to do one Jewish romance a month. Won't necessarily be tied to a holiday, certainly won't be tied to Hanukkah. One Jewish romance a month. If there's one for a specific holiday, Purim, Passover, we'll do those. Otherwise, we're just going to be reading Jewish romances,
Sounds
reviewing
good.
them here on the pod. And then we're really going to ramp it up by next Hanukkah, where we're going to do a bunch more Hanukkah romance books and movies
Love it.
for
And
8 crazy nights.
Send us your recommendations because it's a vast landscape out there. We're learning and we need guidance.
We do. 8 Nights of Flirting is up on the list, high up on the list.
Okay.
It's a YA book, 8 Nights of Flirting. The Matzah Ball is high up on our list. Stacey Agdern's books, Sarah
Huh.
Wendell's books. So there's some books that are
Okay, we have some hot
creeping up.
contenders.
Yeah.
Great. Okay,
yeah,
good.
but definitely, send us your recommendations. Someone recommended How to Excavate a Heart, which isn't necessarily a Hanukkah story. It is Jewish, has a queer storyline. I'm interested.
Okay, there's a lot
A Jewish
there.
book, YA also, How to Excavate a Heart. So lots coming up. I love doing this with you, Malya. It's so fun.
It's very fun. Oh yes, 8. So should we rate Menorah in the middle? Candles
Honestly,
out of
Jonah
8?
Platt just came on. Like I'm rating it
It's an 8. It's an 8 plus the shamash. It
It's
gets
an
9.
8 plus the shamash for me.
Yeah,
It is.
totally. Yeah. Throw
It's a
that shamash
9.
in there. Absolutely.
I wanted
Menorah
to
in the
ask
middle.
you what your favorite Hanukkah song was, but his story was so beautiful that I couldn't be like, "What's yours?" And then you were going to be like, "Narration."
Oh, you just released a YouTube of a new song that you sang? How about Nary Shown, Jonah?
Like I couldn't. Like I had an answer for what mine was too, but like I couldn't start
What's
to sing.
yours?
Well, I was thinking I like it like me and Malel Guvrot Yisrael.
Nice.
I like that song.
You could do it as a round. Who doesn't love a round?
It's beautiful. I would love to do that with him. And and then I was thinking there's a really silly preschool song I like about taking a potato and making it into a latke, but that was a gorgeous story.
Yeah,
So,
you can't top that.
No, I can't top it. I
I
can't.
am a
can't.
fan of Matzis Yahu's Happy Hanukkah. You know that one?
I don't. I have to check that out.
Check it out.
Do you know Take a Potato, Pat, Pat, Pat? Do they sing it in your kid's school?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Take a potato, pat, pat, pat. Grate it and make it flat, flat, flat. Fry it in oil, splat, splat, splat. Hanukkah latkes just like that. That's it. Hanukkah Erotica is brought to you by Hanukkah Pong. Rated Best Hanukkah Game by 2 Jewish New Yorkers. Art by Galdor. Sound by William Levin. I'm Raizel.
And I'm Malya.
Happy Hanukkah, everybody.
Happy Hanukkah. Woo-hoo.
Check out Menorah in the Middle on Hulu.
Absolutely.
And thank you to Jonah Platt for being here tonight.
Oh my God. Huge thanks.
Good night, Mom.
Good night.